it safe to assume in the produce section that if it's not organic, that it's genetically modified?
No, in the produce section, great question. Look on the label and everything has on it. If it has a 9, it's right now. 9 means organic, 8 means genetically modified. If it only has 4 numbers, it means it's just conventionally grown. It's not genetically modified or organic. Okay?
What was the beginning of that part?
How do you know if something, if it's not organic, is it genetically modified?
Okay.
In the produce section, there's 3 labels. And I think I'm right here. The 9 means organic. Gosh, I hope I'm right here.
Yeah, 9 is
9 means, okay, 9 means organic, 8 means genetically modified, and if it's just 4 numbers, then it's just conventionally grown. It's not organic, but it's not genetically modified.
Number do you refer
The
to?
little PLU numbers.
Fruit will be 4 digits.
Yeah.
If it's got a 5th digit, if the leading number is a 9, it's organic.
Okay.
If it's 8,
It's not, it's genetically modified, and if it's only 4, then it's neither. Okay? Thank you for that. I do.
So
The
if it
labels
has
on the
4
fruit,
numbers, it's not.
It's not genetically
labels
modified,
that
right?
they use to code in. It's got 4 numbers. It's not genetically modified. It's got a fifth number that's a 9 in the beginning.
There's so
It's
much
organic.
used like this.
I didn't either. So I was just asking.
Anything else?
Yogurt.
Yogurt. Not a big fan.
You're not a big fan of
You
yogurt?
can do coconut yogurt. I like that.
Yeah.
Actually, you bring up
That is
quick,
good.
what is it, coconut oil or?
Yes.
That's supposed to be eaten by the spoonful?
Exceptionally good for you, yes. Coconut oil is exceptionally good for you. It's a good saturated fat. 30 years ago, we thought saturated fats were saturated fats. It's not. Coconut oil is a good saturated fat. And if you're going to cook, coconut oil is the best one to cook with because it has a higher heat. It breaks down at a higher heat. So, yeah, I'll use virgin coconut oil too. Otherwise, it would be processed. Okay, sir?
Is your vision of a healthy future for this country community gardens, locally grown food, that sort of thing, or do you see conventional farming methods kind of dominating the way we do things in a good way? Maybe.
Yeah. I'm hoping, my vision is local gardens are great, but I'm not sure they're practical. Okay? I mean, I have a garden. I think it's wonderful. Okay? But what I see is that just like Coke and Pepsi are now using stevia, now it's an extract of stevia, so I don't think it's as good as the pure stuff, but it's a million times better than the artificial sweetener. I think what's going to happen is we're going to go full circle, and because of these genetically modified crops that are now failing and becoming more expensive, because the genetically modified crops after a few generations are becoming more expensive because they're not working. We've messed with nature and we lost. I think we're going to go back to at least conventional farming and probably going back to organic farming as well, just because it's going to be cost effective.
Right.
You know, like I said, I think the free market's going to lead us there.
I sort of wonder the same thing when we see stuff like all natural cleaners and stuff like that. I think, why haven't they just made it that way all along?
Well, it was cheaper and more effective. I mean, if I spray bleach on some mold, it's going to wipe it right out. If I spray a natural cleaner on it, I have to use a little elbow grease. But now what's happening is there's such a backlash that we're going to this all-natural green environment, and it's becoming more popular.
I guess that's one thing we could think out of work for.
And the internet.
Miracle mineral solution.
Yes.
Are the claims of that?
My father had that. He called it fish heads. Yeah, miracle mineral solution. That's what it was. You catch fish, you cut the heads and guts off and throw them in the fig tree. And the fig trees were great. So, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, but we can do it naturally, too. You know, if everybody just composted it, every time you have fruits and vegetables, I open up my window and throw it out in my garden. That's wonderful mineral compound there. So, yes, it's a good idea, but we can do it other ways, too. But it's still better than, you know, Roundup.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
In terms of these GMO modified seeds are corrupting the non-GMO modified that are living with them.
Yeah, we cross-pollinated, cross-contaminated, and that's why some experts believe that there's no such thing as organic soy or organic corn anymore. It just doesn't exist because of cross-pollination, and it's probably right.
No, it's also
Yeah.
it's also the contamination of pure farms by the neighbor.
Oh yeah, up in Canada, they arrested a guy for growing genetically modified seeds that he didn't buy.
Right.
He says, no, I have an organic farm. Cross-pollination created genetically modified seeds, and they arrested him.
Not only that, but the runoff from.
And the runoff, right? Exactly.
These documentaries.
Oh yeah, they're great, yeah. And that's why it just goes back to the same basic principles. Get the nervous system working properly, because that controls everything. And that's why I'm offering you a free consultation. If you have a neurological issue, I'll check it for you and I'll tell you what to do about it. Get the digestive system working properly, and then eat good foods. It's just that, it's not hard. Okay? Okay, so there's our plan. So hopefully Ron will get the word from me, and he and I'll get together, and we'll make this just part of our program.
Are there specific minerals that you need to look for the nervous system specifically?
There's several of them, actually. I mean, you need all of them. But calcium and sodium actually are very important. Because nerves are electrical wires, and we're not plugged into the wall. We have to produce our own electricity. Or we produce our own electricity by the chemistry in our body. Just like a battery. If you have good chemicals in a battery, it's going to last a lot longer and work a lot better. Bad chemicals, you buy the cheap battery, it runs out right away. Look at your body as a battery. What kind of chemicals am I putting in there? But sodium and potassium switch back and forth to create electricity along the nervous system. And we get sodium and potassium from fruits, vegetables, certain grades, nuts, and seeds. It all goes back to the same thing, yes.
If you're eliminating dairy, how do you suggest getting calcium?
The more calcium, the more dairy products you consume, the higher the rate of osteoporosis.
Wow.
Yes, that's another study that you've never heard about because people that sell dairy probably don't put that on a commercial. Okay? The higher the dairy products, because dairy is high in something called methionine and cysteine. Methionine and cysteine are acids. When you put acid in your body has to neutralize the acid using calcium as its primary neutralizing agent. So dairy products have calcium, but then when we pasteurize it, we bind the calcium to casein, a lot of it, not all of it. But then with the methionine and cysteine, you actually go into negative calcium balance by using dairy. That's why the higher the rate of dairy consumption, the higher the rate of osteoporosis in a population.
So how do you get calcium?
What about raw milk? Is that taken?
Raw milk is a lot different. Yeah, that would be okay, but in Georgia it's illegal to buy raw milk, unless it's for your pet.
It's around everything.
Yes.
Is osteoporosis really reversible?
Yes, absolutely. I see it happen every day. Now, osteoporosis is not, I feel, too little calcium. Osteoporosis is too much acid, because acid robs the body of calcium. What are the acid foods? Alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. And I see osteoporosis reversed all the time. All the time. And it's not by giving them calcium supplements, because everybody with osteoporosis takes calcium supplements. Nobody ever gets better. Why do we keep doing it? Okay? So you cut out the acid foods, and the body will heal itself. And you need the vitamin D. Vitamin D3 is necessary for bone growth. You need silicon, boron, magnesium. You asked about what are the minerals for nerves, same ones for bones. So if you stop sucking the calcium out of your body will rebuild it because you're only putting good food in. And that's what's so cool. Even hardening the arteries. I take x-rays of a patient. I say, you have hardening of the arteries. Put them on a program. 6 months later, we take the x-ray again. It's gone. Where'd it go? I had a patient come in the other day, swollen ankles, irregular heartbeat, pre-diabetic, and high blood pressure. He says, my doctor doesn't know what to do. He says, I'm basically going to die. Put him on a program. It was about 3 months worth of treatment. I took new x-rays. He went and got his blood work done. He came back and he says, my ankles are 90% better. My blood sugar is normal. I'm off all my medications. And this is an old guy. This guy was like probably in his 70s. And it was 3 months. It reversed everything. So it's not hard to do this. Get the nervous system working, get the digestive system working, get on the right foods, and this guy's off all his medications. If nothing else, Doc, it saved me a fortune. So, question, yeah?
I was wondering about supplements.
Yes.
I take about 5,000 IU of vitamin D every day.
Excellent.
And apart from that, it's like what?
What?
Maybe a multivitamin or something like that. But what do you recommend?
What do I recommend? Great. Well, that's a great question. When it comes to D3, make sure you take it with a little bit of fat. D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin. If you don't take it with fat, it passes right through you. Okay? 5,000 is a good level for someone your size. Okay? There's two sources. One comes from fish. One comes from sheep wool, called lanolin. Okay? Just like the hand lotion. I recommend the lanolin form of D3 because the fish oil runs the risk of depleting this resource of fish in the ocean, and it runs the risk of mercury, lead, polyvinyl chlorides, and everything else. But to answer your question, there's 3 supplements I take every single day in the winter. One is vitamin D3. One is something called Essential Source, and I didn't bring any with me, and I should have. It's a concentrated fruit and vegetable supplement that I create. I take 18 different types of fruit, 18 different types of vegetables, juice it, take the water out at a very low temperature, and I take 2 fruit in the morning and 2 veg in the afternoon. Actually, in reality, I usually take them all at once. And then I use the super greens, which has wheatgrass, barley grass, alfalfa grass, dulse, chlorella, spirulina, and rice bran, which is a prebiotic to feed the bacteria in my colon. Those are the supplements I take every single day. Now, I can take other supplements, but most supplements are going to pass right through you. If you're not taking a bunch of big pills, you're wasting your money. Right? You can't pack everything you need into a little tiny pill this big. It's impossible. Okay? So if you go to my website, I have all my supplements there. So I take the Essential Source, which is the fruit and veggies, the grass, and I don't have a D3. I buy my D3 from a grocery store. Okay? But I use the lanolin version. Okay? Okay, that's a great question. That's the basics that I use. And then in the summer, I don't take the D3. Okay. More questions? Wow, smart group, Joe.
What about the codex in the legislation?
Oh, we didn't cover codex, did we?
Yeah. Nutritional supplements.
Yeah, and that's the big thing with codex. It's passing in a lot of European countries, which really surprised me. So I thought Europe's usually a lot more progressive than us. But if codex passes, you're only going to be able to buy small amounts of supplements. Like a lot of people, they're low in D3. They go to the doctor, get a prescription. 50,000 IUs of D3 once a month. Prescription. Why not just take 10, 5,000 pills? Because it's inconvenient. Okay? So what Codex is looking to do is say we're going to limit how many supplements you can take. Well, then you have to be able to really understand food and get your nutrition from food even more, which makes this lecture a lot more valuable. I'm scared to death of Codex. However, if it passes, I know I'm going to be okay. Okay? Because I know that I'm going to be able to take whole food supplements, okay, which hopefully won't be regulated. Because in my fruit vegetable supplements, I don't say how much is in there because I don't know. Because that apple over there and that apple over there, when I juice them together, I don't know how much vitamin C is going to come out. I just say it's a whole food supplement. So hopefully that won't fall under Codex, and then we'll just go to a whole food supplement, which I think would be a better choice anyway. I think garlic, you know, if you're sick, I think garlic and other herbs. I can't tell you, we won't be able to sell them that way, but you'll be able to buy them in small amounts and then just doses high enough. So I'm really afraid of Codex, but if it passes, we got to get together again, and I'll teach you what to do about it, okay? Big fan of juicing vegetables, not fruits, because when you juice fruits, it creates a lot of fructose. And fructose creates uric acid, which can prevent nitric oxide from forming. So eat your fruit whole, juice your vegetables. That's my rule. Now, if you want to add a little bit of fruit to give kale some flavor, that's fine. But don't be chugging big glasses of fruit juice. Okay? I'd rather juice the vegetables, eat the fruit.
Any vegetables better than others that you recommend?
They're all good.
I mean, in the winter, you know, should you have maybe carrots and other stuff?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I try to have a salad every day. I try to have something raw at every meal. But they're all good. I can't say, like, kale is great. Yeah, I don't like kale. I just don't like it. Spinach, kale, broccoli, celery is great for alkalizing the system. Spinach is great for alkalizing the system. Figs is great for alkalizing the system. Okay? So they're all good. That's what's nice. And that's why if you get a copy of my book, which is over there, you can go online and get it. I didn't bring it with me. But the second half of the book has 202 of my favorite recipes. And we've got everything from raw apple pie to soups to, you can make tofu scrambled eggs if you wanted to, okay? But that's my guide. That's what I eat every single day. Sun-dried tomato basil pesto. When I have a garden, grow basil. Grows like a weed. Pick it all the time, make pesto, put it in the freezer. And then in the winter, you want to have something raw, you break out your sun-dried tomato basil pesto. It's cheap, it's quick, it's easy, and it's delicious. So that's the guide that I use, and that's what I used when I wrote the book. Because people say, what do you do? This is what I do. I said, this is what I do. It's in the book. You go to the website and order it there if you want. But we sell it at my office too. So when you come in for your free consultation, pick up your book. More questions? Sir?
I see ascorbic acid in a lot of different foods, and I was wondering if you were to have 5,000% of your daily value, how that would affect your body if you did that on a regular basis.
Ascorbic acid is 1/8 of the vitamin C molecule. Okay, we can call it vitamin C because somebody said we can call it vitamin C, so it's cheap. It's not vitamin C. It's 1/8 of the vitamin C molecule. So I'd recommend using whole vitamin C instead of that. Now, if you want to know how much vitamin C to take, it's a whole lecture I do on supplements, is take 1,000 units, see how you do. Take 2,000 the next day, 3,000 the next day. When you start to get loose stools, that means you've reached what's called your bowel tolerance. You can't absorb anymore. Cut back to 80% of your bowel tolerance, and that's how much vitamin C you should take every day.
Thank you.
So to put it in a nutshell, your message is you should nourish the body, not poison it.
Any other questions? Yeah, get the nervous system working, and that's the thing that nobody talks about, get the nervous system working. All these books and vitamins and supplements, get the nervous system working. If the lights aren't working, you're not going to get the function. Get the digestive system working, then you can eat a lot less good food to absorb more nutrients. But stop poisoning yourself. There's an old Emerson Lake and Palmer song that said, you don't have to be well to be wealthy, but you've got to be whole to be holy. Okay? And it's a great idea. And just keep your body whole.